When we think of brands that are really good at social, it's usually the younger, more casual brands that come to mind, like Wendy's. By the way, nice job on Nugs for Carter. It showed a real deep understanding of how to be social in real time and then leverage something not only for your own purpose, but for the purpose of fans.
I'm doing this for us.
General Electric. Kudos on your all-in commitment to content and being part of the online conversation. You've thrown your resources behind galvanizing the science and innovation conversation. 2 thumbs up. And some others that come to mind are Red Bull, JetBlue, GoPro, Dollar Shave Club, Nike, Starbucks, and more and more and more. And what most of these brands have in common is that they're fun brands with a young, hip audience. Makes it pretty conducive to social, right? But what if your brand isn't fun? What if your brand isn't young and hip?
I'm with it. I'm hip.
Today I'm going to talk to those whose brands aren't exactly fun or hip and show you how to rethink and recraft your brand for the social era. My name is Tara and this is Truly Social. Now, you may have noticed one of the brands that I featured in my opening that doesn't really fit the whole young and casual brand description, and that brand is General Electric, or GE. GE was founded over 130 years ago by merging Thomas Edison's General Electric company with the Thomson-Houston Electric Company. It is also one of the 12 companies that originally formed the Dow Industrial Average and is the only company of the original 12 that remains.
The last man standing.
Now, obviously, GE is an outlier, but I'd say it's remained relevant because it's been able to keep up with the times. According to Linda Boff, CMO of GE, this is very deliberate. She told Contently in 2016, "We have a proclivity to go early for sure. It's deliberate. It's not an accident. We keep doing it. It's a strategy. We decided to experiment on a wide variety of platforms, fundamentally because it's a mirror to the DNA of the company." In other words, a big, old company stays relevant because they aren't afraid to take risks with their brand. As Linda continued, "I'd say there's a bigger risk in sitting on the sidelines and waiting it out." At Truly Social, we work with a really incredible investment and wealth management firm, PWL Capital. They, too, have innovation in their DNA. As the first Canadian investment firm to promote passive investing and a holistic view of financial planning and investing. We started working with them almost a year and a half ago and now produce nearly 10 unique web series with them, all with unique voices and flavors that reflect individual advisors within the firm. Talk about an all-in commitment to content. So how does an electric company, a wealth management firm, or for that matter, an accounting firm, lawyers, or a B2B services company, or any other traditional unfun company do well on social? Well, the answer lies in first understanding who you are and what you offer.
Who am I?
In other words, your onlyness, and then connecting with your tribe. Onlyness, as I've mentioned before, is a term that Nilofer Merchant coined to describe that unique thing that only you bring to the world. GE has the legacy of Edison, a man obsessed with inventing things to improve people's lives. Where people said it couldn't be done, Edison defiantly forged ahead. GE is a corporation, but its DNA is that of its founder. PWL's founders were similarly defiant of conventional thinking and built their evidence-based passive investing practice decades ahead of other firms and the trends. So the DNA of the organization is a direct reflection of the onlyness of James, Laurent, and Anthony. It's essential that you know who you are, what you stand for. People talk about being passionate about something, and it may seem a bit fluffy to say this, but if you don't have a strong foundation, you'll have a weak signal. In order to be truly social, you need a strong signal to attract your tribe. As Nilofer says in her upcoming book, The Power of Onlyness, finding your people sometimes means having to walk away from places you don't fit in, rather than trying to squeeze yourself into a too tight space with the aim to belong. Many companies are worried that they're sending out too strong of a signal to a specific audience, which may alienate a more general audience. But having a social brand means that you're part of the audience you serve. Weak signals will attract weak numbers. As Nilofer writes, "If you can't value what you alone have to offer, no one else will either." GE is not afraid to be geeky and nerdy about science and innovation. They embrace it and their geeky and nerdy followers love it. PWL isn't afraid to embrace their passion for passive investing and let their finance geek fly. And the more it does, the stronger their audience grows. You don't have to be into extreme sports or be a fun young brand to excel on social.
Age is no guarantee of efficiency.
And youth is no guarantee of innovation.
You just have to love what you do and connect with others who are passionate about it too. That's how you become a truly social brand. My name is Tara, and this has been Truly Social.